You're listening to the GRCC Provost podcast.
Greetings, students of quality. This podcast is for you. It's a little bit different than my normal podcast. A faculty member named Kim Weingarten suggested that I focus a podcast just on what I would say to students who are coming to GRCC in the fall. What advice would I give? I can't do that on my own. I'm going to ask some of our wonderful faculty and staff to come in, share their experiences, share what they do, and share their thoughts on how you can be successful here at the college next year. One important thing that students need to be aware of starting this fall is that they need to access and use their GRCC student email. All college business now is going to be done through your GRCC email address, so you'll get notifications, bills, schedules, important information, and your professors are going to expect that you'll communicate with them through your GRCC email. I'm here first with Brent Spittler. Brent, tell us what it is you teach and how long you've been here.
Lori, I teach in the business department. I'm a faculty member. I've been here, actually this year is now starting my 8th year at GRCC after some time in private industry.
What do you wish you'd done differently? If you could do one thing differently during your college career, what would it be?
Yeah, first week of class, one of the things I wished I'd done differently is not had to continue to be woken up by my instructor. Yes, I had a habit the first couple of weeks of falling asleep in front of my class. At the time, I was getting up very early in the morning for practice, and that was a little embarrassing about the second or third time. Yep, I actually swam when I started college, and so we had early morning practices. I was up at about 4:30, 4:45 in the morning. It was a little embarrassing having to get woken up by, I believe it was my comparative religion instructor a few times in the hallway.
What is the most important piece of advice you have for students here at GRCC this fall?
Sure. Outside of getting a good night's sleep, which actually I am a big believer in, it would be to get to know your instructors, get to know your professors. And genuinely, I'm not a plant on this one, but if I look back at my biggest mistake in college, it was in not getting to know my instructors as well as I should have. You need to get out there. You need to get to know those instructors. I didn't do as good of a job of that as I should have. I know it's hard at times because instructors may feel maybe hard to come in and feel comfortable with them and not be intimidated by them. But especially here at GRCC where we have smaller class sizes, I certainly hope, and I try to avail myself to students all the time, that students will come in and make themselves comfortable in having a conversation with their instructor.
Because faculty like students.
Despite rumors to the contrary.
They do.
I would not be doing this business if it weren't for the students.
Go to office hours.
Please do.
All right.
Yes.
Super, thanks.
Thank you.
So I'm here now with Anna Maria Clark. Tell us what you do here and how long you've worked here.
I am an academic advisor in the TRIO Student Support Services program, which is a federally funded program. We work with first-generation income-eligible students that are planning to transfer. So our work is mainly focused on the long-range goal, but we know that what they do here is going to be extremely important, and also in that transition, which is usually a nerve-wracking period for the students. So that's my work, and I have been here, I think, in November will be 13 years.
Oh, wow.
The years are moving fast.
When you think back on being a new college student, what do you wish you'd done differently?
I had just been in the country, in the United States, for only about a year when I started. So it's hard to think now. I know a lot more, so there might be quite a few things. I think that I was very, very afraid of everything. I was very nervous. I wasn't sure what all of this was like and what it was to be in a school in the United States. So I took a lot of things with a lot of trepidation. Maybe a lot more confidence would have been easier, feeling more comfortable on the steps that I was taking along the way. Though I think I did a lot of things that were not part of the traditional route. And I think all those experiences helped build my path to do what I do now, which is what I love. So sometimes we come with these parameters of this is what I'm going to do, but you don't know what other opportunities might be out there. So connect with people that can tell you what are some of those other things. That's part of what we do, and I love doing that with my students. Some students have never actually gone places, and we give them a chance to go explore, like going to Michigan Tech or going to U of M, and never thought of they could do something like that, to do research or to transfer there. So failure might come, it's part of life, but how you face it and not being afraid, not holding back because some things might not go that way, I think would be one of those things.
Super. Thanks. Evan Macklin, who works in student affairs. Evan, tell us specifically what you do here at the college and how long you've been working here.
I've been at the college for 8 years now altogether. 2 of those years, I was a student employee in the Enrollment Center, and now I currently serve as the coordinator of student life and conduct, which means basically that I help manage the clubs and organizations here on campus, and I also do some low-level conduct work in our office.
So we have clubs and organizations here at the college.
Yes, we do. We have plenty of them. We have about 35 active clubs. Some are academic. So if there's the nursing, there's dental hygiene. Those are more of the academic related clubs. And then we have special interests student organizations. I'll use that language. Those are clubs like, the Hispanic Student Organization, Black Student Union, College Democrats, the College Republicans. So there's whatever interest you might have, we likely have a club for it.
If I were a guessing woman, your best piece of advice for students is to get involved?
Absolutely, yeah. I think getting involved makes the experience significantly better as a college student. I was involved here on campus as a student employee, so no matter if you're getting involved as a student employee, if you're getting involved through the student clubs and organizations, there's also limited research opportunities out there with faculty. However it is, whether you're getting connected with other students, staff, or faculty, I think you're going to find that your experience is a lot better as a college student, especially as an undergrad student.
Did you make any mistakes when you were a college student?
As I was finishing here at GRCC, I didn't research the four-year institutions that I could transfer to, and so I kind of went based on convenience. And I'm happy with the choice I made. I picked Grand Valley, and I don't have any regrets there, but I think I could have looked elsewhere as well. And I know we have the 3+1 programs with Ferris, so it could have saved me a little bit more on the cost of tuition. When I look back and I look at the student loans I had to take out to cover tuition, I think I could have just explored more opportunities at that time and potentially attended one of the transfer fairs that the Counseling and Career Center hosts I think it's every October. So at the end of October, kind of keep your eyes peeled for the transfer fair posters that go up around campus.
I'm here with Shakita Clay, who works in the financial aid office. You folks are pretty helpful in that office.
We're very helpful, especially if there's first-time student coming to the college. We have a financial aid lab that we try to encourage students to utilize if they don't understand financial aid. So please come in, utilize the financial aid lab, utilize our staff that we have at the college that is experienced too. So we know that the topic of financial aid is very, very complex. So please come and utilize us.
And it's math.
It is.
It's mathy.
It is.
Yeah.
Math and problem solving.
Is there anything you think, boy, I wish I'd done that differently?
One thing that constantly sticks out with me that I would have loved to have done differently would have been deciding on a career path. I would have loved to researched it, research institutions that had a program that fit into the career path that I wanted to go into.
So try to discover early on what it is you want to do.
Yes.
So you know which classes to take. Ultimately, you save money. Did you know you can do that in our CLS 100 class?
That is a wonderful option.
It is a wonderful option. What else would you tell a student to do who's come into GRCC this fall?
Go to the counseling center. See who your counseling advisor is. Gain a rapport with that individual because they're here to help. And if you are uncertain as far as your career path, your goals, the counselor's right there for you to get away at all that uncertainty that you have. Open doors.
Open doors. So ask questions.
Ask questions.
No dumb questions.
Never a dumb question.
Super. Thanks. I'm here with Dylan Carr, who is one of our fabulous GRCC faculty members. He teaches anthropology here. You undoubtedly can remember back to when you were a college student. What is it that you would do differently?
Mistakes that I made, like I missed my very first final exam in college on my first class. And I was embarrassed. Obviously, I wasn't very organized. I got the times mixed up. Apparently, we do final exams on different dates and times in the regular courses. So I showed up the wrong date and time. And I was too embarrassed to go and sort of beg leniency to the prof. And then ended up at graduation in undergrad, I just missed out graduating with honors by like a few hundredths of a point. So had I gone and begged for leniency, I probably would have graduated with honors. So I don't try to make a lot of mistakes, but when I make mistakes, I like them to have multi-year implications to them. So.
Wow. Yeah, and who would know? I mean, seriously, a first semester student, who would know that the exam schedule is on a different time frame than when the class met?
If they take my classes, they do.
And let's just play this out a little bit. If a student came to you and said, here's what I did, would you have leniency?
I always tell them, like, it depends on sort of how they approach that conversation. So if they come to me and say, you never told me that we had a final exam on this date, then that's usually a pretty short conversation.
Because you did tell.
Because I did tell, and so that's trying to shift the blame onto me. But if they come to me and say, Professor Carr, I messed up. This is what happened, or I just completely let it slip my mind. Then usually it's a much longer conversation that we can have.
I was not trying to put you on the spot for all future
Show
excuses.
up for my final exams.
But Professor Carr is very approachable, but you need to get there for the final exam.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Next, I'm here with Mike Vargo, Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences. Now, it's really hard for me to imagine you, Mike, having made a mistake as a student, but if you can call to mind one, would you share it?
I'm going to have to reach into an area of my brain, small, it's very tiny, where there have been errors made. This may surprise you to find this out, but I graduated in the far bottom quarter of my high school class. I hadn't spent a lot of energy in high school developing skills that would be necessary for success in college. And I didn't come from an environment where I was the first person in my family to go to college. And so I didn't really get, that I was going to have to actually do anything when I got to college any differently than I had in high school, and I did not do much constructive in high school. I showed up without any study skills, without any commitment to stay up with my reading. Even my commitment to attend class was a little thin. That didn't play well as a freshman in college. That's probably the biggest sort of general mistake that I made when I hit the doors for my freshman year.
You can't assume this is like high school and you need to kind of get it together in terms of self-discipline. What other advice would you have for a student coming to GRCC this fall?
I would encourage students to get involved in some of the programming that we've got available here. One of the reasons that undergraduates can get unhappy is they're not connected. They leave an environment, they leave a group of friends, and they start hanging out in a new place where they don't have connections. The nice thing is that there are 15,000 people pretty much just like you starting school. So there's a nice opportunity at the beginning of this semester to connect with folks who are also moving into a new environment and looking to establish some new relationships. And the student activities that we have, the clubs that we have available here, the events that we put on for new students, those are just great ways to meet people and find other folks around you who share some of your interests.
For those of you who have stayed with us all the way to the end, thank you. I hope that this information has been helpful. Most of all, what I hope this podcast does is encourage you to meet the people who work at GRCC and to ask for their help. We're here for you. It's what we enjoy doing. See you next time. Boom.
You've been listening to the GRCC Provost Podcast, produced by GRCC Media Technologies. Join us next episode for more Provost.